Right, so before using MongoDB, we need to install it. So I'm going to go to the browser and I'm going to say MongoDB, just like that. And of course, it's going to be pretty much the same, the first result, MongoDB for giant ideas. We're going to go there. And okay, you can have a bunch of data right here, a bunch of options. We're going to go right here to the one that says download on top. And we're going to go to download. And we need to select, and again, you can have a lot of options, but we're going to use the one that says community server because of course it's free. So if you need to select the version that you're gonna use. In this case, we are on Mac, so I'm gonna use OS X 10 64 bits with SSL. We're gonna use that one. And then of course we need to download. So I'm gonna click on download. Okay, it's gonna start downloading in just 1 second, and I'm gonna save it into downloads. So it's gonna be like 90 megabytes. It's gonna take a few minutes. So I'm gonna pause the video and be right back. Okay, so now everything it's downloaded. So what we need to do, we need to go to downloads and we need to extract the folder. Okay, it's gonna take a few seconds. And okay, it's gonna give you a folder, you know, this folder MongoDB, OS X, and then the version. And what we need to do now is to grab this folder and drop it inside the root directory or your user directory. In my case, it's going to be Apple. Okay, I'm just going to drop it here, and it's going to be right here. If you don't have this option on the favorites, what you can do, you can on the Finder right here, you can go to Go, and you can have an option that's going to say Home. So you know, same directory. Good. So now what we need to do, this folder, we need to change the name. We need to rename it. So we're going to rename it to Mongo. Now the next thing is going to be to create a new folder. It's going to be Mongo-data. So this Mongo data folder is going to host all the information about the database that we are going to create inside this folder. So this one is going to be the one that is going to host all that data. Good. So now what we need to do, we need to start the server and connect to Mongo. So I'm going to go right here and we need to navigate to this Mongo folder. I am at home, root. So what we're going to do, we're going to say cd mongo / and we're going to go to the bin folder, to the bin directory. Now, if I do ls, I'm going to get a lot of directories, and there's two that we're going to use. We're going to use the Mongo and the MongoD. So MongoD is the one that is going to start the server so we can make no SQL operations. And Mongo is going to be the one that is going to connect with MongoD. So these two are the ones that we are going to use. Okay, so now before doing anything, we need to start the server and to let MongoD what is going to be the location of the database, which in this case is going to be Mongo data right here. Good. So first, we're going to do / and we're going to use MongoD. Then we do -- db and then path. And then we need to make a space and we need to specify the location for Mongo data. I'm going to use the tilde and then / and then Mongo-data. Now, if we press enter, it's going to start doing some weird thing. Okay, almost done. And at the end, you're going to get a message that's going to say, waiting for connections on port 27017. This means that the server is running and it's ready to go. Good. So now on the right side on the terminal, I'm going to make a right click and I'm going to open a new tab. So this new tab, and notice that I am already at the bin location inside Mongo. So with this tab, we're going to connect to this server that we have running right here. So what we're going to do, it's really, really simple. We need to do / and then Mongo. So it's going to give you a lot of information. And notice that you don't have the command. You have just the right pointing arrow. So this is just like Node. This means that you are running and then you can run MongoDB commands right here. You can use the database. And if you go to the MongoD, right here, you're going to have some information. It's going to say received client metadata from localhost. And, you know, it's going to give you some bunch of information, Mongo shell, and then the type of computer that received this connection, which is going to be Darwin, and Mac OS, which is my computer, you know, localhost. That's good, so you are ready to go. So I'm going to go to right here to Mongo, and I'm going to just run some tests. I'm going to say DB, and this is the way we connect with the database. We're going to create a dummy record inside Mongo DB. So I'm going to say DB, then I'm going to say test, and this is going to be the name of our database. We don't have a database right here, but since it's not there, it's going to create it. I believe that by default, I'm not really sure that by default with MongoDB, you get a test DB by default, but it doesn't matter. If it's not there, it's going to create this database for us. So we're going to say insert, and with this, we will insert new data, and I'm just going to do curly braces, and just going to add name, and of course, Francis. Now I'm going to press enter, and it's going to say write result and inserted 1. So this means that it's good. We have one record. It went to MongoDB, went to the database, and inserted one record. So how can we check if this record exists? So we're going to say again, same thing, DB, then we do test, and we do find. Now the find method is going to show you all the records in that database. So I'm going to press enter, and it's going to give me this as a return. We have an ID, and we're going to talk about this ID later, and then name and Francis. This ID, it's unique. It's something that MongoDB, it's doing by default. It's going to provide you with a default ID, but this comes from MongoDB. But everything is working. We are running the MongoDB database. We are connecting, and we are just adding some records. Okay, that's good. But if we need to create a project and we need to do a lot of operations with the databases, just checking everything from the terminal, it's just like a pain in the butt. You're going to be typing the whole time. It's going to be really, really long. So we have some tools that can help us to inspect the information, in a little bit more graphic way. We have something that it's going to be called RoboMongo. So just get ready. We're going to install RoboMongo in just 1 second.